Race number 9 looks this way though. Kimberley has his first start in Hong Kong. He was a two-time winner in Brazil, both Group 1 events. Winner methods, place 4 from 14 course and distance. California Voce comes here out of the Joseph O'Brien stable. Solid Impact is place 3 from 5 course and distance. Run Buddy has a tongue tie on. Leslie, second look at 1400 for him. Indeed is a newcomer for John Size, raced in the UK by James Fanshawe. He was the trainer. Beauty Champ has the pacifiers coming off. Top T comes up in grade, and G-Liner, he runs over 1400 metres for the second time. He's win over 1600 metres at Cork. So on that, Tom, there's a lot of newcomers here. What does that do to the speed up? I guess not much with a horse like Run Buddy, even from a wide draw, having that good gate speed. Yeah, he likes to go forward. He just had no luck with the barrier draws. He's come up with 11 again after winning at a barrier 14-2 back and running well out of the same draw last time out. Beauty Champ likely to push forward from barrier 2. Ariel should be handy from barrier 10. Top T could even be quite handy there. California Voce, a horse that sat just off the pace in his most recent barrier trial. The other one, Paul, Indeed, he's certainly shown some pace. He was an on-pace or near-pace runner over in the UK. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He's just drawn 13 as well, so maybe be one place further forward, but he might just have to work to get across. But he's had plenty of trials. He had 9 trials to get him ready. His Indeed. The other one, California Voce, he came out of a race in Nace, and there was 100,000 runners in that one down the straight, and he managed to be right on the pace in that as well. That was on a yielding track. He also won over the 1,444 metres at Roscommon. But our focus is going to be the horse trained by Frankie Law. Run Buddy is his name. He's had the 5 starts, yet to miss a place. And Nick spoke to his trainer. Indeed, it is Frankie Law.
Frankie Law, Run Buddy is your runner in race number 9 on Sunday. A horse who's racing very well for you. 2 weeks since his last performance. It was a good run.
Yes. As I say, last time he dropped in again. He still went good.
You've put a tongue tie on him now, Frankie. Interesting addition of gear for the horse. What brought you to that decision?
After last run, the jockey tell me he make a little bit noise, so he said maybe we try tongue tie for him. And I put tongue tie for a few days already. And last gallop yesterday, he used the tongue tie. The jockey said he better. Yes, he better. Yeah.
You mentioned the draw. Obviously, poor horse has been dealt a cruel blow. He continues to get wide draws. He's an on-pace runner. I guess the fact he's got such good natural early speed will at least allow him to hopefully get out and get to the position he wants to be in.
Yeah, I think he got a big stripe. I think if he can just lead by himself, should be better. But anyway, sometimes you don't know inside draw the horse, they will go fast or not. But anyway, I will ask Derek, try your best. If you can lead, just lead by himself.
He meets Solid Impact again in the race. He was second last time. Your horse was third. He's actually better at the weights with him now, so I guess that would fill you with confidence to turn that form around.
I think so, but the draw just a little bit better than last time. I think still okay, yeah.
From Frankie, we go to you, Paul, around that horse. I kept going to call him Run Buddy Run, but it's Run Buddy. That gate speed's going to get him a long way, isn't it? It is. Look, we've seen him win from a wide gate before. New addition with a tongue tie going on him as well. I quite like him. I think if he can get to the front and dictate, he can win this race. I think there might be a little bit more pressure for him this time around. Those are a few other runners, even Top T from barrier 1. He's drawn well underneath him. He could certainly contest the lead if they wish to do that. Gets in with a lightweight too, does at Top T. His Beauty Inspire now, Tom. He runs 5th in this race, and that was over the 1,200 metres. He has been tried between 12 and 1,600 since he's been here. Yeah, and they're bringing back to 1,400 metres here, and he can pull hard, this horse. He does a bit wrong. I like the way he was making up ground here over the final stages last time out. He's had a trial since he was up on the pace. He was a little bit wide. You have to wonder sometimes if he's ridden a little bit colder, if that's better for him, but he's drawn barrier number 3, but obviously pulling a bit does worry me a little, Paul. Yeah, it worries me a bit. He's going to come up short with Zach aboard. He's been in single figures all 4 starts here in Hong Kong as well, so I've included him, but not on a win line. Here he is again, Paul. Now, this is 2 starts ago. He jumps here from barrier number 4. We're going to show the early stages of this race. It's a race where he gets the head up. He wants to pull early. He also gets in trouble at the 600-metre mark. Yeah, he does. Look, I think, though, as Tom said, I'm pretty sure they're going to ride him quiet. Barrier 3, he'll get an economical run. I expect him to be 3 or 4 back on the inside. But as you can see, he just really resented being held back here. So, I mean, Zach will sum it up when they jump.
he's obviously one of those horses you just need to ride him as you find him. If he gives him a squeeze shortly after the start to try and take up a position, that's obviously going to maybe fire him up. So he still needs to learn about this horse.
And this is the last 150 metres of the race. The horse that won this was Ching, who's in really good form, and then he's had that fifth since. We've got a barrier trial coming up as well, Tom, for Beauty Inspire. He placed in this trial. It's won by Campione. There he is on the outside with Zach on board.
Yeah, and look, the trial was good. He was up on the pace in this trial, and I thought he relaxed fairly well in it. So he will come up short enough, I think, for a horse that's done a little bit wrong and still can, I think, probably do a bit wrong. But I'd be willing to take a chance with him here, Paul. He's at 2.9 currently. Just hopefully he settles in the run. That race we saw a moment ago, it had Alacrity, Powerful Wings, Havanagila. The form's worked out there.
Yeah, it was a good trial. He can see how he's 5th, 7th, 12th, 5th. I mean, I've got him sort of 3-4 back on the inside, trying to get him to settle. So.
And where he's sort of, the point of this graphic was when he's been back, he's run his better races.
Yeah, and that's I thought they'd try and ride him a bit colder.
Yeah, the lead and fade to 12th there. Can't imagine he'll be being tried in front again this week. All right, some of the opposition include Top T. Tom, coming up in grade lightweight. You mentioned he might be on the pace as he is turning for home here.
Yeah, things worked out well for him on Derby Day here over the 1400 metres. He was a winner at Happy Valley early on in his career at about his second start over Fortune Carry. He's got form behind Hoss, and then he's come out and beaten Rattan Kingdom here. Paul, who did get close and has won subsequently.
Yeah, he did win nicely, didn't he? The thing with the stable is they don't really normally put two together. I mean, when he did win that race, he ran a couple of okay races, but up in grade here on a last start win, it just worries me a bit.
We move on from Top T at Paul to California Voce. He's had the 5 trials since he's been here. It was a horse that had 5 starts overseas for 2 wins and a placing. If you like what you've seen from him.
I haven't minded it, actually. He's 1,071 pounds, so they put plenty of work into him to get him ready for this. He's drawn nicely in barrier number 6. Look, he'll be in the market, I think, on the back of his trials. And Tony Cruz can get a PP to win fresh up. Yeah,
we know the PPs, however, don't have a great strike rate when they are here first up. But his trials have been good. He won at Nace last time out. He's had numerous trials. I thought there were 3 main chances in this, and then outside of that, it was pretty open. I'd give him a shot on this race.
All right, good push for California Voce. That was Mr. Ascendancy that finished alongside him in the trial. Speaking of trials, Tom, to Happy Valley we go. Sky Forever runs third. Now, we haven't seen him since he was scratched at the barrier on the 24th of January. He has had 2 trials and he's worked on here.
Yeah, so it's been a wee while since he's raced. I quite like the way he finished off over the final stages. He is hard-ridden here, but then once he got to the line, I thought he was under a nice enough hold. He's had 2 trials leading into this first up, Paul, for 121 days, but finished right behind them there.
Yeah, he wasn't far behind, was he? His win did come at Happy Valley. So, look, I'm happy just to watch him after that break.
And indeed, Paul, more trial form around him. As you mentioned, he's had the 9 of them. They've all been up at Chung Fa. He's led all of the way to win his last 2.
Yeah, look, they've been quite quiet trials that he's had, but he has won them nicely enough. Look, the thing that worries about me is barrier 13 with his pace underneath him. So he's 1,035 pounds, so I think he'll strip pretty fit coming into the race.
Yeah, and he's been trialling up quite well up at Chung Fa. They're led and won this easily. Yeah, where he sort of ends up in the run would be a concern, and his win did come over 1,200 metres at Newmarket, and they try him here first time, 1,400.
Luke Curry rides him for John's size. But after all of those replays and analysis, Paul, who are you with?
Got to go with Run Buddy. Look, he showed that he's up to Class 3 with that 3rd of his last start. Tongue tie goes on. He just needs to get across easy enough, and I think he can. So that's why I've gone with him. Solid Impact's been very consistent. Hugh Bowman knows the horse very well. California Voce on debut here, and Beauty Inspire. So went 6-4-3-5.
Yeah, this race here, I like number 5, and that is Beauty Inspire, who comes into this with Zach Purton off a good trial. If he can put everything together and not over race and do things right, I think he'll be tough to beat. Number 5, Beauty Inspire. Solid Impact's been consistent. Hugh Bowman and David Hall from barrier 8. Run Buddy has to go in. He'll put himself right in the contest. And outside of those 3, I thought it was pretty open. But off those trials, California Voce, the 3-year-old here for Tony Cruz, and Matthew Chadwick goes in for 4th. But 5, 4, 6 and 3.